man once asked the Buddha how to reach enlightenment. The Buddha, after a long pause and with a calm certainty, handed him a shovel. Across our blue planet, across centuries, across religions, one cryptic command keeps popping up: grow a garden. But hold on, why are prophets, poets, and philosophers, from the Bible to the Bhagavad Gita, obsessed with digging holes in the dirt? Isn't it just farming? Isn't it just food? And if it's that simple, why do the most powerful civilizations fall when their gardens die? In Islam, paradise is literally called Jannah, the garden. In Genesis, humanity begins in Eden, a garden with no war, no suffering, no status games. In Taoism, Laozi tells us that nature is the only a teacher worth listening to. In modern prisons, therapy programs are using gardening to reduce violence, depression, and rewire the brain. Why really? Why did indigenous Australians practice fire gardening using controlled burns? Was it to fertilize the land in patterns that matched celestial maps? Also, the Mayan priests grew corn. Was it just to eat, or was it to awaken the gods? Ancient Egypt had garden temples. Were they just designed to mirror the Nile? What is it really about growing something that changes everything? The man asked the Buddha, "How do I escape suffering?" And the Buddha, calmly, handed him a shovel, not to escape life, but to dig into it, because a garden isn't just a place. When you grow a garden, you're not just feeding your body. There's something else you're doing that I will tell you right here, right now. Blink, and you'll miss it. But if you already know why, you can go ahead and watch the other video you wanted to see before you clicked on this one. It might actually surprise a modern reader that texts as disparate as the Bible, the Tao Te Ching, the Hindu Vedas, and Greco-Roman philosophy all sing the praises of growing gardens. Why were our ancestors so obsessed with planting seeds? There's this ancient Egyptian tomb painting depicting a lush garden with a fish pond and rows of fruit trees. This tomb dates way back to 1400 BCE, long before a random Brimful WHYs video echoed through your YouTube feed. In one video call with Muhammad Salah, I asked him about this painting, and he was like, it's just the central role of gardens in early civilizations. Turns out, it wasn't. If you're a fan of the Bible, it opens with a gardening job. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and tend it. That's Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, by the way, for those of you who don't go to church. According to Genesis, humanity's very first task from God was to care for a garden, a clear sign that tending nature was part of the divine plan. Also in Islam, the whole saga starts within a garden. That's where it all began, according to Islamic writings. And that's where it might all end. Jannah, they call it. The ending is the beginning, they will say.
See, when the Song of the Whole praised agriculture as divine civilization, when the Sumerians sang hymns to Enlil, the god of gardening, when Zoroastrian texts exalted tending land as sacred duty, when Confucius said that the superior man is modest in speech but exceeds in action, and then, quietly planted in his garden, when ancient Greek texts wrote, "Society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in," when the Quran described paradise as gardens beneath which rivers flow, when the last Islamic prophet said, "If the hour is about to be established and one of you has a small tree, or what the English call a sapling, in his hand, he should plant it," when Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree and touched the earth, when Mahatma Gandhi said, "To forget how to dig the earth is to forget ourselves," when Henry David left the town only to live in the woods and plant, when Rudolf Steiner said that biodynamic farming was spiritual science, when Bob Marley sang, "We've got to fulfill the book while planting cassava," when President Spencer Kimball told saints to grow gardens and preserve food. Basically, when every ancient and future wisdom you know keeps circling back to one weird act: grow a garden. They weren't talking about tomatoes.
They weren't talking about tomatoes. Every sacred scroll, every dusty manuscript, every whispered wisdom of the old world repeats one thing: grow. A garden. Why? Because gardens were never just gardens. They were codes, rituals, power systems. Buddha gave up a palace for a tree. Epicurus started the world's first chill zone in a vegetable patch. The Vedas, they said if you plant a tree, you'll get 30,000 years of heaven. Bro, that's better ROI than Bitcoin. From Babylon to Beijing, from the Nile to the Amazon, gardens weren't merely side quests. They were the blueprint. You want peace? Grow food. You want power? Own land. You want freedom? Learn to harvest. You've been taught to scroll. Ancient civilizations? They were taught to sow, because the soil remembers. Brother, you'll see it everywhere, this plant a tree, save a life thing. You'll see it in cities where a single tree becomes a whole neighborhood's lungs. You'll see it in cemeteries where trees outlive the mourners. Your ancestors planted trees for you. Will you plant for your great-grand TikTokers? Because planting a tree, my sister, means betting on a future you won't control, can't predict, might not survive to see, but still believe in anyway. So no, it's not about tomatoes, it's about hope. Hope with roots. It's about the one thing you can do in a dying world. I was here, I gave life back.